the Adeptus Ridiculous podcast. My name is DK Diamantes. His name is Bricky, and it's 40K season. Well, that's every season, but whatever. Anyway, you know why you're here. And if you want to support the podcast before the episode starts, head on over to patreon.com/Adeptus Ridiculous, where you get access to the Discord, bloopers if they happen. $15 tier gets you access to all of our posters in crispy digital form. Also, you get Shy's hot takes on hot Warhammer things. It's great. You should check it out. I believe a compilation video of a bunch of the stuff that used to be exclusive to Patreon just went up on YouTube. Check it out. It's great. Patreon.com/Adeptus Ridiculous. Bricky, welcome back.
I heard that Freudian slip on the Warframe. I heard the F coming out.
Yeah, it is. Oh man, I am unfortunately back playing Warframe, so it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Is it unfortunate though? Now,
not really. Actually, I've been having a lot of fun with it again.
That's kind of what
I'm kind of back.
That's kind of what I heard. Yeah. Well, we're here back for some good old Warhammer stuff. I do have a little doohickey I want to talk about before we get too deep into it. I know many of our viewers are used to the occasional. We have occasional sponsorship every couple of episodes, sometimes a couple of times a month or whatever it is. And this time, there's one I wanted to talk about more so. Some of you who watch my own personal content know that I have actually become the co-owner of a brand new company. Natura Pine is the name of the company. It is flavored toothpicks. That is all it is.
Yep.
And I'm not trying to pretend like it's anything that fancy, but I will say getting into it and actually joining that company, being like a genuine co-owner of it, not just doing a sponsor for, is because I tried them out and I had the Squidward moment where I tried the Krabby Patty out and I was like, oh crap. It's literally
I had the same moment when I tried them, dude.
Yeah, well,
same damn thing.
I was about to say, you've had them also, and at first you're like, it's flavored wood, and it is just flavored wood, but they're pretty great.
Yeah, they really are. And this is I'm not doing the ad here, but there is quite a wide variety of flavors for like flavored toothpicks. There's we
got 4 flavors. We got watermelon, peach, mint, and cinnamon. And I know it's a little silly as a concept, but I think for a lot of people, especially those in our fan base that are maybe in their like late 20s or 30s or 40s, there's definitely a feeling that when you're like I use them all the time when I'm playing Warhammer, when I'm painting Warhammer, whenever I'm doing any kind of like magic stuff, simply because it's genuinely just like an oral fixation. It's a bit of a fidget. It tastes good. It's a thing just to have in your hands. I use them after dinner. It's easily one of those things that you are surprised you enjoy as much as you are. And that's actually kind of half the reason why I co-own the actual company. So if you'd like, you can check out the link in the description. It is also code ADRIC. It should auto-apply, but in case it doesn't, it is the usual code ADRIC. It'll save you 10% off from whatever your order is. There's a bunch of flavors. There's also discounts on the flavors if you do like, combo packs and stuff. Honestly, I just ask our audience to give it a shot. I think a lot of you, especially those of you with big piles of shame that are painting and oh god, especially any of the blue collar folks that we have watching our channel, the truck drivers, things like people in the trades, just between like job sites, things like that. Like I tell you, I think they're really, really solid. So check them out in the description. Use code ADRIC, and yeah, that's my little pitch for it today.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
I on days where I'm just sitting around like all day at the computer, I go through so many of those damn toothpicks, man.
I went through like at least like 20 a day at Evo because I was just going between places, and even and in the Slam I was using them while I was playing my chun. But anywho, back to the 40K world of things. DK, no segue for this. All right, here's your mystery quote. He that may fight, heal him. He that may fight no more, give him peace. He that is dead, take him from the chapter's due.
Oh.
It is Warhammer this time, just so it's clear.
This kind of seems like Dreadnought to me, because this feels like, what was it again? What was all? It was like he that. Give me the quote one more time.
He that may fight, heal him. He that may fight no more, give him peace. He that is dead, take from him the chapter's due.
Maybe not Dreadnought, because I feel like if it was like, oh yeah, he that dies still fights or something, that'd be Dreadnoughts. But this is. Oh man, this seems like it's like some sort of like 40K funeral rite or something. For like I almost want to say like I was getting like that grave world from Space Marine 2? Yeah, where it's just like, oh yeah, this is just a planet where the where good boy Space Marines go to be buried, and there's got to be some crazy funeral rite for that. They got like the big statues and the catacombs and stuff with the body that looks like them. I'm gonna say funeral rite / grave world episode. Final answer. Lock it in.
Okay, you are wrong.
Damn it.
I apologize. That is indeed not the episode. I would want to say you're on the right track, though I'm probably going to be too nice if I say that. I'll just give you the answer. We are doing Apothecaries. He that may fight, heal him. He that may fight no more, give him peace. He that is dead, take from him the chapter's due. What would you assume is the chapter's due?
Yeah, that probably should have been a pretty obvious apothecary quote. Man, people have been giving me guff because I always second guess like my guesses and always like lead myself away from them. And today was just like, no, I'm just gonna go for it. And it's like, damn it, I should have second guessed myself this time. Damn it.
I mean, it's fine. It happens. It's all right.
Yeah.
That
was definitely a very easy apothecary quote.
I mean, when you think about like, okay, healing, that makes sense. And then when you think about like take from the chapter's due, it's clearly like, then it's the gene seed. And at that point, it's kind of like, all right, I get it now. But I mean, it's tough. It's a very wide world. Though, I mean, Dreadnought wasn't the worst idea. I'm not gonna say that's like too far off, because I can kind of see the whole thing of like, he that may fight no more, right?
Yeah. It's also early in the morning. It's so early that obviously
I love excuses. Woo!
Let's go. So apothecaries, eh?
Yeah, apothecaries. So obviously when you think of the most important member of the Space Marine chapter, you would tend to assume like the chapter master, right? However, there is, in a sense, no real debate where the most important member of the place or of the chapter is the apothecary, because the existence of the apothecary bookends the life of a Space Marine. They're responsible for their creation and the cultivation of gene seed upon their death. Of course, to say that they're more important than chapter master is whatever. We're kind of splitting hairs here, but the
heresy.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't think it's heresy either, but like they're just not as high in the ranks. But
yeah,
damn, are medics important in like every world ever? And you need gene seed.
Combat medic.
That's true.
Especially in 40K, where gene seed is so scarce.
Yes.
You're not making a whole lot of new gene seed. There's only so much gene seed to go around. If you lose that gene seed, it's gone for good.
It tends to be gone for a very, very good period of time, at least depending on various factors. I'm pretty sure Call has some malarkey that he's working up with the gene seed that I probably don't remember right now because it's 8 a.m. But to go from there,
I love excuses.
I love you're damn. He's right. So he got me.
Let's go.
But so for today's episode, we are going to go over the Space Marine Apothecary from their basic training, combat functions, the Apothecarian and Weenie Hut General, and the unique types of apothecaries that you'll see across different kinds of chapters.
Okay, let's go. Let's go, apothecaries.
Weenie Hut General. No?
Yeah, I'm assuming that's a SpongeBob thing.
Oh, right. I don't even know why I try anymore.
I would love to laugh at it with you, but I'm just gonna ha ha SpongeBob reference that I 100% totally could. Oh, pat on the back there, Bricky. Well done, buddy. Well done.
Can you do the Titus laugh from Final Fantasy X for me?
Ha 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 ha!
Thank you very much. This is all I needed.
You're welcome. Yep.
Wonderful. We need a general. Anyway, so Space Marine Apothecaries, like other titled members of a chapter, are picked normally from veterans who have not only shown prowess on the battlefield, but have also shown promise and potential due to their actions, likely in the form of providing some kind of medical assistance to a downed brother or protecting their body so that the apothecary can come in and then do his duty. Regardless of the how or the why, an initiate apothecary leads almost a dual life while training. Tends to be the case where the initiate will be apprenticed out by a senior apothecary to assist him on his day-to-day duties, as well as study as much as possible. But serving the chapter remains obviously a priority for the initiate. So until they've gained the official title of apothecary, the initiate still does what they normally do as a Space Marine, which is like face first, head-on combat, be ready for deployment, the classics.
Oof, man. I was going to say, like, as an apothecary, still going head first, balls to the wall in combat. So this is risky. You don't want to lose your apothecary.
No, I mean, the initiates.
Really? Oh, okay, right. Okay, so just as they're initiated, training to become one, they're still just going head first. Okay, got you.
Yeah.
They're not like an apothecary yet.
Yes, I mean, the apothecary... Right. Is teaching them, but obviously the initiate is still an initiate and therefore needs to be learning in between, killing, which is always funny.
Makes sense.
But obviously all the downtime therefore is mostly apothecary-based studies and general duties. Now, the duality is intentional because even though the apothecary serves as a combat medic, the combat part is normally quite required. Should not surprise anyone on that matter that a Space Marine, regardless of position, tends to do lots of killing. But when you think about it, the duty that an apothecary has in the middle of the battlefield requires them to face a bunch of action, also being able to hold their own while attempting to assist, which is why it's pretty good for your initiates to be doing a little bit of that, both the best they can to kind of get prepped for that.
Yeah,
so
they're the embodiment of life and death.
Yeah, so that others may live and all that stuff.
So
the number of apothecaries that you can find in a chapter tends to vary between the different chapters, but you'll always find at least one per company. The most senior apothecaries tend to be found in the apothecarium, which is obviously the part of the chapter area, whatever, as their studies have been transferred from more of a combat medic a little bit to bio-research, biopreservation, and creation of new Space Marines. Because obviously, like, you have your chief apothecary, your senior apothecary, and they're a little bit more, like, staying on the ship and doing stuff, as opposed to as much combat medic stuff, because, you got to make more Space Marines.
Yeah, they kind of got more important duties than to go with the rank and file and just fight sometimes. Yeah.
This split is a little bit reminiscent in how the U.S. Army split the Army ambulance services and then the sanitary corps during World War I, which started in what year?
1914.
Very good.
1914.
They put in a fetal position, rocking in the corner, 1914.
Could we sell a shirt that just has big, bloody, bold 1914 just right across the center of it?
I don't know, man. I'm a little bit worried about who would wear it.
You know what? That's actually super fair.
I mean, it's the First World War, not the Second, but I don't know, man. I'm just a little bit unsure on that one.
Yeah, you know what? That's fair. That's so valid.
We can wear a shirt that says 1914 and we scribble out the 1 and we put an 8, so it's 1984.
We could do that. Yeah, okay.
There we go. That'll work easier. But
fair criticism.
Before we get into the various aspects of their work, we should go over one of their more striking features, which is their heraldry. Out of all the Battle Brothers, you probably can see that the Apothecary has some of the most unique armor It varies, of course, but the power armor is almost entirely white, which is the exception of the left shoulder pauldron, which is, of course, dedicated to the colors of the chapter. So on the left pauldron, you will most likely find a variation of the prime helix, which is the sacred symbol that represents the gene seed of a space marine, stylized, look like the caduceus, I think that's how it's pronounced. Caduceus symbol of ancient Earth, the classic medical symbol.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's like a kind of a neat combination of the double helix and the cool S. You know the S.
the Stussy S that everybody drew as a kid, of course.
Mm-hmm. Instead of there being a staff or snake heads, though, you find the ancient caduceus symbol, and the prime helix is generally combined with your usual Imperium flair, like a skull, wings, skulls with wings, and so on.
Of course, as you do in the Imperium, sure.
Interestingly enough, I actually made a little custom Space Marine chapter and 3D printed some bits for it. And I was doing this kind of thing where they were all medical. It's like a apothecary Deathwatch of sorts, where they're all like chief apothecaries. And so I actually had some shoulder pads printed with those symbols on them. And let me tell you, they're a bitch to get on there. But they do look pretty cool.
Wow, that does look like a combination of the double helix and the Stussy S, actually. That's exactly what it looks like. You're right. Oh, man.
I don't know. Right. I don't know if Shy has that photo, I think, from earlier. There it is. Boop. That they have, you can see it's on the gun, on the Apothecary Biologus. It's also on the
on his helmet.
And the knee.
Oh, yeah. Actually, it kind of goes hard on the gun. Like as it goes into the skull, that's nice looking. That's a good. I like that.
It's a very cool symbol. It's it's very much like kind of reminds. I'm sure you played Cyberpunk. Remember like the Trauma team?
Oh yeah. First mission is just you rescuing that lady that's on ice. They show up, put her down, and they got their guns pointed at you, and it's like, yeah, you don't mess with the med team, you don't mess with Max Tag.
Hey, it's kind of this combat medical team. It's pretty neat. It's a very cool looking concept. Now, obviously, as mentioned before, the actual look can vary substantially, but it kind of coincides with the chapter itself. Some of them don't really give a damn, and the entire suit except for the left pauldron is white. Sometimes it's the left pauldron is the only thing that is white. In more Primaris lore, you'll also find that some of the new apothecaries have a white narthecium as well, things like that. And then you might ask yourself, what is a narthecium, Bricky?
Bricky, what is a narthecium?
Well, I'm glad you asked. So there are two major functions of an apothecary on the field of battle. The first one, of course, is combat medic. And the second is preservation of the gene seeds so they will not go extinct. You decide which one is more important, of course, but fear not. The narthecium is a combat tool that allows you to do both.
So, yay! I love multi-tools.
So that's the narthecium. Yeah, right?
Oh my god. I love Shai's description of it. The narthecium, this gentle tool of healing. Good lord.
Yeah, it looks like the every single custom weapon from the TF2 medic.
Imagine it's like, oh, my arm, quick, help me, apothecary, and he brings this thing out, and it's like, no, wait, I'm good. Suddenly, the wound doesn't hurt so much. I'm solid. Thank you, apothecary. Move on to the next one.
Me, a dying space marine. Are you sure this will work? I have no idea.
Worth a shot.
Yeah, it's pretty neat though. But the narthecium allows you to do both. The standard loadout of it includes stim packs, anti-venom serum, healing agents, tools, sterile clay to apply to wounds, and a reductor. The reductor is the specialized tool that allows for the extraction of the gene seed producing progenoid organs. And there's also a very surprise tool in narthecium we'll talk about later. Now, there are various patterns of narthecium that can be implemented depending on where it is being used. On most, you'll find a chain blade as well as the apothecarian drill. Both of them are made to cut through power armor to provide better medical support. So, like I remember learning how to use trauma shields. Trauma shears. I remember specifically learning how to use trauma shears when I was in EMT school, and it was pretty neat because it was actually insane how quick that shit cut through everything.
Yeah, because sometimes, you got to get through it. You got to treat the wound. You got to stop the bleeding. So you're going to need something that pierces like everything or almost everything. Because, if you can't get to the wound, well, not bad.
It's just like I don't know, just kind of neat seeing like full genes just being like, all right, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, there are a couple other patterns. One of them is the deep bore pattern, which is specifically for the rapid extraction of the progenoid gland. For the suited-up Terminators, a Hagen pattern narthecium is needed to cut through the even thicker armor. And despite being generally associated with the Apothecaries, the narthecium is also used by the Sisters of Silence, interestingly enough.
Oh, well, I guess they would also need a tool like that because they wear pretty hefty. I mean, it's not Space Marine power armor, but like
it's power armor.
It's still pretty. Yeah, it's power armor that you got to get through. So I would imagine they would need kind of something like that.
Yeah.
Too. Yeah.
Obviously, there is the Diagnostic helmet as well. It's basically your Space Marine helmet, but it has a Diagnostic array implanted, so you can be like, "Oh, he's suffering from Oh, sir, please use this Diagnostic helm on my girlfriend. She seems to be suffering from didn't eat all day and didn't drink water."
Oh boy, you hate to see that.
You hate to see it.
You hate to see that.
Score 1 for Bricky's mildly sexist, but life experience joke.
Woo.
Life experience Bricky. Woo! All right.
Life experience Bricky. Woo!
What's a woman?
Couldn't tell you. I haven't seen one in years.
That's all right. Shy got that joke. It's fine.
Okay, cool.
What's a woman? Let me tell you boys something about women.
Oh, no.
All right, thank you, Shy. I'm just gonna let you. Well, I'm gonna let you.
Oh, of course, it's your fesh peens brain rot.
It is, Shy. I'm gonna let you post that for the video, but it was somewhat zoomed in, so we get rid of the 2 slurs in the bottom right that I always forget that it has. All right, moving on. Apothecary job number 1, Mr. Combat Medic himself. So. The combat medic aspect of the apothecary's job is still essential for any company that finds themselves under fire, obviously. Considering the degree of injury a Space Marine will most likely face during battle, the genuine, resilient biology of the Space Marine makes the job of the apothecary a lot more straightforward and very, very easy. Each Space Marine has an organ known as the Larraman organ, like L-A-R-R-A, man, Larraman. It is often referred to literally just as the healer. It's the organ that produces extra white blood cell enhancers, and it rushes through the body to make the wounds knit and close up as quick as possible. So if an apothecary comes across an injured brother, he will use the meds in his narthecium to cause the Larraman organ to go overdrive, so that the injured brother has a fighting chance, and if he can't like walk or move or something.
Oh, that's cool that they just put the healing gene into like overdrive with drugs and just make it heal faster. That's actually, I don't know why, but that seems like a really cool thing to do.
I feel like most medication basically is that, but yeah. Bricky.
Well,
do you mean hold on,
maximum overdrive?
Hold on, Crabs. You'll never catch me, Crabs. Not when I switch into maximum overdrive. Yeah.
Yes. I get that reference. Totally. Listen, you might have been met with awkward silence by me, but I bet you chat is just losing their minds right now. Just, wow, he said the line from the thing, and listen, I'm just out here.
You are a hater. You are a hater, DK. You are a hater, and your dislike for SpongeBob has done us wrong.
I'm just saying that other people will love it. It's not my thing.
So, anyway, Of course, sometimes the Space Marine has more general injuries, and so a stim pack and some basic meds will do. And sometimes the healing techniques might be a bit more rudimentary. Here's a quote. At a loss concerning what else to do, Nestor helped Harrison sit up. There was no function of the narthecium that would help. With nothing else springing to mind, the apothecary brought his fist down sharply against the uninjured side of the Space Marine's helmet, jolting his head to the side. Harrison slowly turned his head to the left and right and looked up at the apothecary, the lenses of his auto senses focusing on Nestor's face. Brother Nestor? What is your name? Where are you? I am Brother Harcian of the squad the Scalprum, 3rd Company of the Dark Angels. Present location is Koth Ridge, Piscina 4, Piscina System. I appear to have lost an arm, brother. So it would appear that he just punched him in the face really hard and it woke him up.
Yeah, I was going to say, it kind of sounds like he just bapped him over the head and just like, oh, hey, good to see you, brother. I got a little problem over here.
I find it kind of interesting. They don't fully do it, unfortunately, but there's a thing that I did when I was in for EMT, which was A&O times 4. It's alert and oriented times 4, and basically you ask 4 questions to the person. You ask their let me see if I remember their name, where are they, what time is it, and what just happened. And so. If you're A&O times 4, you're mostly chilling mentally. If you're A&O times 3, that is like genuine cause for concern. If you're A&O times 2, holy fuck.
Yeah.
But I remember like sometimes, someone like for example, someone like rolled a car. And A&O times 4 is like, okay, what's your name? Jimothy. How old are you or something? 28. Where are you? I'm outside my car on Bliss thing. It's like, what time of the day is it? And it was like pitch black. And they were like, yeah, it's about noon. And I'm like, oh. And I'm like, oh, shit.
Yeah. We need to get him out and load him up bad. Like, there's something wrong.
So it's interesting. He was like, I mean, granted, yeah, he asked, like, what is your name? Where are you? So he's like, Brother Hassian, Third Company Dark Angels, present location. And then, like, I've lost an arm. The only thing he didn't do, I think, is age, but I think, or like time, I guess, whichever it is, age or time. I don't quite remember. It's been like 10 years. But yeah. Still, it's kind of neat that they did that.
Yeah. Okay, proper.
Sorry. Possum appears to have added an image to the script that I have just now seen. I'll send it in a moment.
Oh, no.
So, obviously, the ones who have taken extreme damage but haven't reached a grave state will be moved to a location where they can keep firing until the company can extract, and then they will be taken to the apothecarium. If you may remember, Talos is an apothecary.
Talos is an apothecarian, isn't he?
Mm-hmm. I mean, so is Varial, but he's a different apothecary.
Yeah, I was going to say, you don't want to end up on Varial's table, you don't want to end up on Talos's table either. We've seen how gross Talos's room is. You need a rebreather. I mean, sometimes even just having a rebreather on won't shield you from going into Talos's room. Just,
I mean, honestly, if I had choose between Talos and Varial, I'd pick Talos. But because holy shit. But yeah, it's fair. Yeah. But of course, every body and everyone's body has a limit, even if you're a horrible bioengineered monster. And some of the injuries are simply too grave for even the most seasoned of apothecaries. So, of course, in this case, the apothecary might administer the Emperor's Peace with the surprise tool narthecium known as the Carnifex. The Carnifex is a pistol-shaped tool that the apothecary applies to the temple of a gravely injured Space Marine, and Possum sent this image.
Yeah. I where have I seen that image? It got memed on recently for something. I don't know, but yeah, that sounds about right. As soon as you said, oh yeah, use a little tool called the Carnifex, I was like, man, okay, look, we're gonna knock off on your bingo card the Mass Effect thing. That's literally all I could think of was the Mass Effect pistol. Just,
I mean,
right in the gauntlet.
The Carnifex is dope as hell. I was more so, my brain basically was running into a little bit of No Country for Old Men in this scenario.
Oh, right, because he uses the flip the coin, call it. And then
Yep. That's a little bit more on my end of things, but that works too.
Okay.
Anywho, so obviously this kills the Space Marine instantly because they got shot through the head, and you're to blame.
Yeah.
But from there,
you give love a bad name, dude.
Thank you. This is what I was needing. So that's obviously the medic part of the combat medic part. There's also the gene seed harvester, of course. Mm-hmm. Now, you need gene seed if you want to keep your chapter going, obviously. And the way to do it is to keep it. Duh,
of course.
A quick note about gene seed, as it can be a bit confusing. Gene seed is used to grow the artificial organs that are implanted into the bodies of a human that makes them into a Space Marine. 2 of the organs that are implanted during this process are the progenoids. One is in the neck, one is in the chest cavity. The progenoids are organs that mature over time by absorbing and filtering the genetic material produced by the other implanted organs. Once this filtration process is complete, the progenoid is fully mature, and each one has developed a singular gene seed. The maturation process between these 2 glands tends to differ. The gland in the neck takes about 5 years to mature, and the one in the chest takes about 10. But the full maturation of these glands is essential for their preservation, and immature glands will not have produced the necessary gene seed for their preservation. Now, in some chapters, the gland that is located in the neck may be removed when it is fully matured in the form of a celebration, because the removal of a progenoid gland is actually not fatal. However, the one from the chest cannot be removed safely. The celebratory removal of the neck gland is not that common at all, and it is far more common that both progenoid glands remain inside the Space Marine until the day of their death, because it is better to ensure that it's 100% mature as opposed to, being sorry.
Yeah. Has there ever been a case where a Space Marine died before the genes could be, fully matured, and it's just oh, shit, we just lost it because the Space Marine's only been around for, a couple of years?
Positive it's been lost. Shy makes a good point. There was a funny death in her Shy episode where one of the Space Marines falls into a river of acid and no one cares except they're like, oh God, the gene seed, no.
I bet that happens a shockingly large amount of times where there is some catastrophic pitfall like that, Space Marine dies, and everybody's just like, no! Oh, did you love him? No, the gene seed! Damn it! I didn't even know his name!
I mean, damn, half of the Night Lords were just like, oh crap, Kurz's stuff. When their dad was killed.
Yeah. And the amount of raptors that were just like, ooh, yummy candy.
Did you hear that there is apparently going to be a Sisters versus Night Lords Raptors kill team box?
Oh,
I'm very excited about this.
Oh,
I feel like the amount of Night Lord based things has increased substantially in the last 5 years, and I'm not that into myself to assume that it's us who did that. But god damn it, does it feel a little bit coincidental?
I'm gonna say if it wasn't, we had at least a small hand in it, right? We gave it just as like madness is like gravity, just needs a little push. Right?
Okay, so you do the Joker voice like that often, but you don't sound like the Joker, baby. You sound like the fucking old decrepit lobotomite dude from Big Mountain in Fallout New Vegas.
Listen, I'm just gonna
welcome
keep doing
to Big Mountain. My robo scorpions will sting you.
Listen, I'm not giving up. I've got the perseverance to move past this horrible Heath Ledger Joker impression. We're gonna get there one day, and everybody's gonna be like, he finally did it. That sounded well. At least I get the reference, right? One day.
Me in the porn parody of the Justice League. Can you introduce me as the Gooner?
Oh no! Oh no!
All right.
Oh God.
All right. Anyway, so back to the cum jar, and which is in a sense a concept because it's the gene seed. So, obviously, for each Space Marine, there is a potential for 2 more Space Marines because obviously, better 100% sure, etc. So, chapters must send a tithe of their gene seed to Terra as a means of not only monitoring for abnormalities. You don't want some Thousand Sons flesh change shit going on. But you also do it for preservation. So it's not even an assured that 2 Space Marines in this situation, which is why it is imperative that the progenoid gland is preserved at all costs, because losing some could spell the end of the chapter by attrition alone. Now, you might think that the progenoid gland is volatile and easily damaged, but you would actually be quite wrong. You will find plenty of lore instances of it being torn out, like ripped out, perfectly intact, or you'll see a mini of an apothecary holding it like a little baseball. You can see that one up there.
Oh.
Yeah, it's gross.
That's the progenoid gland? Oh God.
Yeah, it's a weird little thing in there,
Oh man, that looks like some Cthulhu shit.
I mean,
that looks like it's gonna wake up and destroy everything. I hate it.
They're little freaks.
Yeah.
But so the apothecary obviously is wants to try to keep it as safe as possible, despite the fact that it can actually withstand a ton of damage that will kill a Space Marine. So harvesting it tends to almost always be successful unless they get atomized. But regardless, though, the apothecary connects the reductor of the narthecium to the 2 spots in the body where the progenoid gland is located and sucks it out basically for safekeeping. We'll talk about Primaris stuff for apothecaries later, but it should be noted that the former apothecaries have simplified the process with the implementation of the reductor pistol. This weapon, it removes the necessity for carrying around a toolkit and has 2 functions: progenoid suck and gun, also known as the new location on Helldivers.
You love a multi-tool. Yeah. Oh, that it. Wow. Is that the gun that is that Mini is holding?
Yeah. So the reductor pistol is kind of neat in the tabletop. It's got no range. It's 3 inches or something. But the armor penetration for it is -4, which is the same as a doomsday weapon of a Necron thing, because it's meant to fire straight through armor, right? Yeah, and pull the stuff out.
Yeah. So that's kind of cool, actually.
Yeah, and also, you're
like the Necron Doomsday gun.
Yeah, and sometimes you're getting attacked by a bunch of dudes and you're trying to harvest some gene seed. You're like, God damn it. So you turn around and you start blasting people.
Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah.
Do
apothecaries combat with poison at all? I don't know. For some reason, I was just if I was an apothecary, I'd carry vials of poison around, for some reason. I just...
I
do that.
I don't know. I mean, maybe they got some shit on them that they just throw it and it's toxic to humans. So they just chuck it at someone maybe once in a while. But normally they need this stuff. Yeah, unless your name is Fabius Bile, in which you tend to throw a bunch of shit at people.
He is an apothecarian, isn't he? That's okay.
But yes, that's the general type of thing of taking out the glands. It's pretty gross. It's a lot of click click, and now you got yourself a baseball-sized organ.
Oh, I love those sound effects. Just
yeah,
that's
click
man.
click. Now, of course, in a perfect battle scenario, Space Marines would win and control the conflict location uncontested, allowing the apothecary to take his time going through the bodies of fallen brothers, taking their progenoid glands one by one without fear of continued conflict or death. But we're in Warhammer, so if there are 2 things that the enemy, that Imperium faces all the time, it is massive stupidity and death.
Yeah, they sure do all the time.
Now, certain enemies that the Imperium faces are particularly frightening for the preservation of Space Marines as a whole, and the first and most obvious are the Tyranids. Obviously, when a Tyranid munches down on a Space Marine, it's a little too late to save the progenoid gland, as it is rapidly being turned into biomass.
Yep.
It's particularly upsetting for apothecaries because A, they just lost the gene seed, and B, the Tyranids are probably getting some kind of gene ability that's going to make them much tougher. I'm pretty sure.
Adaptability.
I'm going to do it. Okay, Tyrant Guard 40K. I think the Tyrant Guard were or are utilized from Space Marine DNAs.
Oh, so those are the Tyrant Guard are what you get when you're Tyranids and you've eaten enough Space Marines and you got that gene seed buff, and those are like the hefty boys.
Yeah, it says it is also believed, so I guess it's maybe not 100% confirmed, or is confirmed, and I just don't know because I'm looking at this for 5 seconds. But yeah, the Space Marine DNA was incorporated for the creation of the first ever Tyrant Guards by the Norn Queens. Yeah, so
that kind of makes sense because they do kind of give that like sort of heavily armored ceramite soldier vibe to them. They definitely have that going for them. So I would believe it.
They're pretty chunky, which is pretty neato. Now, obviously, that really sucks and it's awful to deal with. The other more horrifying one is, of course, good old chaos. Oh,
yeah.
Mr. Bile himself is a chief apothecary, formerly a medicae, and the process of the progenoid gland, as well as their locations, are very well known to the forces of chaos. Because in the event they take down a loyal Space Marine, they will most likely rush to the body to harvest the gland so they can use it to make more Chaos Space Marines. However, much like with the Tyranids, the mindset for the Space Marines, the Loyalists, are if it can't be saved, it must be destroyed, because losing it to Chaos is very bad.
Yeah, that's worse than just losing it by a mile.
Yeah, I mean, hell, in Blood Reaver, one of the major things was tax evader Huron Blackheart going after the I forget the name of the Marines chapter. Yeah, they were like some.
It wasn't like the the Knights Errant or something.
That sounds right. Yeah, the Knights Errant.
Yeah.
The Marines or the Marines Errant or something of that nature.
Yeah.
But they went to the Fortress Monastery to steal all their gene seed. That was the main goal.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, outside of those two major threats, you also have the general flow of combat itself. You know, a ship might be torn apart and the Space Marines are flung into space and there's nothing really to do there. They can be overwhelmed. They need to extract immediately. Lots of things can happen. Maybe they're deatomized at a molecular level by a Necron doomsday weapon. You know, like things will happen, and it always is shit because you really want to keep that gene seed.
I was going to say, just getting hit by a Gauss cannon will probably do the job, right?
It depends on the cannon, but yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
Now, of course, you have the Apothecarium, which is the gamer room full of gamer sweat. And
sure.
And then the apothecary wears like one of those cat ear headphones while he's listening to music while he's doing surgery, naturally.
Me from like 5 or 6 years ago is in that picture, and I don't like it.
So obviously the progenoid glands are collected and the injured battle brothers are retrieved. They are brought to the chapter's apothecarium, which is both the medical center and bioengineering department. Now, the apothecaries may move in and out of the apothecarium, but they do have a dedicated staff of apothecaries that never see battle. And at the center is, of course, the chief apothecary, the responsibility to oversee not only recruits to the apothecarium, but also the functions of it going forward. Now, at a very basic level, you could argue that the apothecarium is the surgical center for Space Marines. If they suffer a horrible injury in the battle and they find themselves they've survived, they are brought back to the apothecarium and assist with the horrible injuries and tends to dispense tons of genetic data for each battle, you know, lots of material to bring people back from death, all that kind of stuff. The process can be insane. You could do like skin graft regrowing, repairing like almost to fully obliterated limbs and organs, but obviously, there are limits. If your entire leg was blown off, sucks. You're going to get a cybernetic leg. We're not growing back your leg. You're not Deadpool.
Yeah. Yep.
There are obviously lots of
cybernetic limb, like what's his face from Space Marine 2, right?
Oh, right. One of them had an arm.
Yeah, the cybernetic arm, the Terminator arm.
What
his name is.
I forget. But yeah, there's the cybernetic arm. It's one of the other two guys. There's also, of course, and also sometimes those things don't always take. Coolest Blood Angel character known to man, Zaphin, had 2 robotic arms from them being blown off in combat, and they fidgeted and ticked a lot. He couldn't use a gun.
Oh shit! Really? They just didn't take, and he couldn't replace it with one that did, and he just has these crazy ticks. And can't use a gun.
Master of Mankind, that guy. The Blood Angel character who talked to Ark and Land, and Ark and Land fixed up his arms at the end.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
The best character of that. The best character of that damn book.
Yeah.
It was great.
We love that book.
It's all right, but Zaphin's a baller. Yeah. But, obviously, that kind of stuff doesn't always particularly take, but, it can sometimes, and that's only if your arms are just totally blown off or your leg or whatever.
Yeah.
Obviously, there are bio vaults where the gene seed is kept and collected. Most areas have an apothecarium, whether it's like a building or on the big ship or something along with that. Due to the sheer amount of material stored in the apothecarium, it's very easy to conclude that it's also the location where a truly ready aspirant are genetically modified into a space marine. But due to how limited the stocks are for the creation of the gene seed, they try their absolute best to save their creation process for those who have been fully screened because the success rates are so damn low. Oh wow, Zaphin's a joy toy? Holy shit.
Hey, why's he got a gun? I thought he couldn't use those.
God damn it, man. You got to read the book again, but don't. But remember at the end, Ark and Land helps him out, and he fixes his arms for a short period of time.
No, you're so right.
Wow, you just don't it's like the best part of the whole book, man. It's the ending. It's the war in the webway. It's like the part that I like the most. Well, regardless, in recent years, there has been a more optimized genetic rate, which has been using in the creation of the Primaris Space Marines, which have improved the stability of the progenoid gland, making its preservation a little bit easier. So you have something called the Primus medicae. So the chief apothecary is the highest ranked apothecary member, but it hasn't always been the case. Back during the heresy and the crusade, the title held by a senior apothecary was a Primus medicae. And the post-heresy landscape has made the process of space marine medical upkeep and creation a bit more standardized. But beforehand, it was a bit more of like a genetic free-for-all. Most of the former Primus medicae were rushed to their position and were made to act fast due to how terrible of a situation the Imperium was in. A notable example is Vicente VI of the Raven Guard. He was a novice at best, but was forced up the ranks due to the necessity in the thinning numbers. He was provided information by Corvus Corax on how to work with the gene seed of the Raven Guard, not only to improve it, but to use it to rapidly recover ranks after Isstvan V, because, that shit went bad.
Yep.
He was given genetic material from Corax and the Emperor and was later tasked to improve on this process. However, because Six was rushed during this process as a plot was revealed to not only seize this gene seed, but to also sabotage the gene's vault itself. He became a bit more frantic and didn't really take safety precautions, resulting in him being blindsided and killed by a disguised group of Alpha Legionaries.
Damn Alpha Legion.
Yes. Now, obviously, the medicae are a relic of the past, existing now only as an example of the previous life of some of the more terrifying members also of Chaos Space Marines, including Fabulous Bile and the, quote, smiling one, Madurm Lansahi, of the Night Lords. And if there's a Night Lord person called the Smiling One, I think bit of a fear on that one.
Yep, don't want to meet them ever. Nope. Yeah, screw that.
Yeah, that's not my favorite. Now, of course, there are a couple chapter variants. When it comes to specific chapter-based variants, the most notable variant comes in the form of the sanguinary priest of the Blood Angels, which acts much like the apothecary of many other, but their roles include a few other duties unique to the chapter, like finding the more intense flaws with the gene seed of the Blood Angels. They also provide that sanguinary chalice to the aspirants to begin the insanguination process as they become a Blood Angel. And they are also the members of the chapter responsible for guiding the Battle Brothers through the Red Thirst and to guard against the potential onset of the Black Rage, which, has its own issues.
Sanguinary priest, very important. Yeah.
They're kind of a combination of like apothecary mixed with, making sure the Black Rage doesn't ruin everyone's life.
Yeah. Combination medic and therapist.
Yes. You could argue that they are vampire in a blood bank. That's one way to put it.
Okay.
The older mini does not look as upscale, but the drip is still pretty strong, and it's very sad that the new one does not have the big chalice.
Yeah, I mean, he has the chalice on his side, right? But it doesn't look as cool.
Nah, it's not the same. Holding him up like that with that funny-looking skull face is really good.
Fair.
Now, obviously, the next one you have are the wolf priests. Because the space wolves have to be a bit extra, of course. They are a combination of apothecary and chaplain. Now, instead of traditional medical equipment, they are used. The wolf priests prioritize the usage of a healing potion and salves. So instead of your traditional narthecium, they have a device known as the Fang of Morkai, which holds all of these various potions and balms and herbs while also being used to reclaim the progenoid gland from their fallen brothers. It is described as a very cruel-looking tool. They also one, they look dripped out of their minds, and two, they recently got a new mini, which literally does serve the way you think it does. In-game, they heal models and make them more powerful in melee, which is what chaplains do. And that mini is the coolest-looking mini of all time. It is so sick.
It is. Oh, my God. That requires a Jesus. That's really cool.
It's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is an absolutely phenomenal mini. I absolutely love it to death.
Looks like a nightmare to paint, though. There's a lot of little parts and pieces and a lot of little runes on the lining of the jacket. But God, that looks good.
Yeah, I mean, Space Wolf stuff is normally not too bad, but that one specifically is a little much at times, especially getting all the fur going and everything. It's a whole
little
deal.
Challenging.
Yeah, but it's cool though. And then of course the final one that we should talk about is the less of a variant, more just unique form of an apothecary. Those who have chosen to perform the long watch of the Deathwatch are obviously still in need of apothecary services. And the Deathwatch apothecaries are likely the most dedicated of them all because it's a very unique position to be in. Because they're all from different chapters, and therefore all of their biologies are very different as well. So in order for a Deathwatch apothecary to be able to do his job, he needs to be made aware of the genetic uniqueness from each and every chapter he may encounter. And let's be honest, not everyone likes to talk about that shit.
Yeah, I would imagine a lot of chapters like to keep that this isn't a pun, but they like to keep it pretty close to the chest because, it's important. It's their lineage. It's their future. It's everything. So, yeah, I bet it is really tough being a Deathwatch apothecary.
Hey, there's a lot to learn. You got a big textbook ahead of you.
Yeah, you do.
So obviously, you have this unwavering dedication to the medical preservation of your brothers, but you have to swear dedicated oaths to each chapter as well. Recovery of the progenoid glands of fallen Deathwatch need to be separated and analyzed to make sure they know which chapter they came back from. Because of the nature of the Deathwatch, the likelihood of reclaiming Gene C is actually quite low because those glands that are reclaimed have a very high risk of Xenos mutation. So if a chapter loses an obtuse number of members in the Deathwatch C is not reclaimed, they may withhold their brothers from joining the Deathwatch. It's a lot of stuff. You basically need to be really good at messing with the genetic makeup of like a ton of weird people because it's from all kinds of different Space Marine chapters.
Yeah, that's a tough job. That's a rough job.
Yeah, so there's a lot that goes along with that. But it's a
living.
It's a living.
It's a living. Yeah.
The Apothecarian and the Apothecaries are, they're combat medics. But the biggest thing that's the most interesting about them is just the recovery of gene seed. being like, "Hey, I got to get this stuff back," you know?
Mm-hmm. Is the thing on their back, like one of them is a light and the other, is that just like surgical tool, extraction tool? Because it looks like it's different on some, because like that Deathwatch one looks like there's like a little bip computer thing, and some of them it almost looks like
I love my bip computers.
yeah, it just beep, and it just scans stuff. But like the last picture Shy posted, it looks like there's kind of a claw on the end of it that maybe it's used in some sort of apothecary medical procedure, or
I mean,
like that crazy thing up there.
It looks like there's a little extra surgery, like surgical tools. I mean, looking at this this guy right here, the Apothecary Biologus, doesn't seem like he has a narthecium of a traditional sense, so there's a good chance that backpack acts as said narthecium.
As right, because you're right, he doesn't have that big clunky. I say clunky. I kind of love the narthecium. It's a really cool like weapon, air quotes. But yeah, you're probably right. That probably does act as his narthecium for extraction because he doesn't have that big clunker on him.
Yeah, that big clunker.
I meant the narthecium, not that thick dump truck.
The big clunky.
Yo, we got that big clunky though. Sheesh.
All right. Sheesh. But yeah, I mean, the apothecaries are fun. I also do like how they have their own various flavors. Obviously, the Blood Angels got their sanguinary priests, and of course you like the Nordic style of the Space Wolves because they have like bombs and soothing things like that. But
and they're just cool as hell.
it's pretty cool. It is cool as hell. They just look sick as hell. And that's basically what we got. Yeah. Apothecaries.
Let's go.
Nothing particularly too crazy, nothing particularly too fancy pantsy, but they're they're extremely important.
Yeah, they're the grimdark combat medics that you really need if you're a space marine. Yep.
And I guess it might be kind of fun just to have this point here because it's neat. In the tabletop, the apothecaries tend, depending on what kind of apothecary you have, tend to do various things. Most of the time, what an apothecary does is just revive a unit in your squad, which is, it's not particular, like, it's somewhat okay, but like, for example, the base apothecary is, during your turn, one model is returned to your unit. You rescue a model. But you also have gene seed recovery, which is when your bodyguard unit is killed on like a 2-up, you gain a command point, which is cool because you've recovered the gene seed. You're like, hell yeah, that's a neat little concept.
Yeah.
You also have the Apothecary Biologus, which is more of a, we call them the Harmacist. They basically just, they give some combat buffs to their squad, but if they ever destroy an enemy unit in a melee attack, the Maul has a much higher objective control, mainly because it's the idea that like, oh, they're learning from their Vivis Spectrum, they're scanning and shit.
Right. It's a great name, the Harmacist.
The Harmacist.
I quite like that. It's fitting.
Of course, the Wolf Priest has the ability to return a Maul to the unit, but also they add +1 to the wound roll because they're a combination of a chaplain and a healer. And then there also were apothecaries on bikes. I don't believe they are there anymore. Those are gone. Very sad.
What?
I know.
Why? Why would you get rid of that? That's so cool.
Because Games Workshop just keeps getting rid of models, and I don't quite get it. Mostly because they're old, but that model looks sick, so I don't know, man.
Oh, man. That, I almost couldn't even tell that model was old. Like, when you zoom in, you can kind of see some of the hallmarks, like an old Mini. But, God, that looks so cool still. Like, oh, man.
Also, the Sanguinary Priest does not revive people, but he gives them like a feel no pain, which makes them tougher for his stuff and makes him a little stronger because of his blood chalice. So, little bits of healing stuff in the game.
Right. All right. You love to see it. We love our Harmacists. Hell
we do. But yeah, that's it for Apothecaries. Thank you everyone so much for listening and or watching. Pretty simple episode, pretty easy topic. Check out your Chirapine stuff, Code Aderic, down in the description. Check out the link. Thank you. Toothpicks are very, very, very good for an oral fixation while you're painting minis and stuff. And also it's good if you are like want to quit smoking. because you have a little thing there.
Mm-hmm.
Besides that, decam coming for your seed.
Oh no.